Today is Friday, February 20th, 2026, and this is Read Through the Bible.
And for you, this is a travel day.
It is. I'm going to Colorado today
to
go see our new grandson who was born on Sunday, and I'm going to spend a week there and just help out in whatever way I can.
Yeah, that's great. I will miss you, but I know that SR and Jenna will really appreciate your time with them. In fact, their first child, they super appreciated you.
Yeah.
I mean, I just remember talking even to Jenna, and she just said, "Oh, it was such a big help that you were along."
Well, I love doing that.
And you're coming to serve. Okay, so today we're reading in 2 Chronicles 14 through 16, which you talked about last time about how I said just circle the names of all the kings, and you said even you bracket out the chapters in your summaries as well.
Yeah, I write it in the margin of... I just write which king it is and which chapters they're in. So like Rehoboam was 10 through 12, basically. Abijah is 13. And then Asa is 14 through 16.
And we're going to read all about Asa today. His beginning of his reign through the end of his reign. So sit back, relax, and listen to the story of Asa.
Okay. Abijah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his place. And in his days, the land had rest for 10 years. And Asa did what was good and right in the eyes of the Lord his God. He took away the foreign altars and the high places and broke down the pillars and cut down the Asherim, and commanded Judah to seek the Lord, the God of their fathers, and to keep the law and the commandment. He also took out of all the cities of Judah the high places and the incense altars, and the kingdom had rest under him. So he's purging idolatry. And it seems like every good king of Judah, that's something that they do. They purge the idolatry because it keeps coming back. Like barnacles on a ship.
That's right.
Yeah, clean them off again.
Yep.
Verse 6. He built fortified cities in Judah, for the land had rest. He had no war in those years, for the Lord gave him peace. And he said to Judah, "Let us build these cities and surround them with walls and towers and gates and bars. The land is still ours because we have sought the Lord our God." I think that's really important. The land is still ours because we have sought the Lord our God. Because,
right? Anything the people of Judah got to learn, you follow the Lord, and he's going to bring goodness to your path.
Right. You're going to be able to keep your land if you seek the Lord. We have sought him, and he has given us peace on every side. So they built and prospered. And Asa had an army of 300,000 from Judah, armed with large shields and spears, and 280,000 men from Benjamin that carried shields and drew bows. All these were mighty men of valor.
Zerah the Ethiopian came out against them with an army of 1,000,000 men. So that's 1,000,000 versus 580,000, and 300 chariots, and came as far as Mareshah. And Asa went out to meet him, and they drew up their lines of battle in the valley of Zaphathah at Mareshah. And Asa cried to the Lord his God, "O Lord, there is none like you to help between the mighty and the weak. Help us, O Lord our God, for we rely on you. And in your name we have come against this multitude. O Lord, you are God. Let not man prevail against you."
Well, and remember, they were outnumbered 2-1, basically.
Yeah, and this is the demonstration of trusting in the Lord. And if anything you learn from these kings and things like that, trust in the Lord. Verse 12. So the Lord defeated the Ethiopians, right? I mean, here it was, right? Don't let man prevail against you. This is God against man is really how Asa saw it. So the Lord defeated the Ethiopians before Asa and before Judah, and the Ethiopians fled. Asa and the people who were with him pursued them as far as Gerar, and the Ethiopians fell until none remained alive, for they were broken before the Lord and his army. The men of Judah carried away very much spoil, and they attacked all the cities around Gerar, for the fear of the Lord was upon them. They plundered all the cities, for there was much plunder in them, and they struck down the tents of those who had livestock and carried away sheep in abundance and camels. Then they returned to Jerusalem. So chapter 14 here is a lot like chapter 13.
Yes.
In Abijah just trusting the Lord, and they defeat Jeroboam. And here Asa is trusting the Lord, and they defeat Zerah, the Ethiopian.
Right. And in both cases, the odds were against them. And we don't even have details of how exactly it is that Judah had victory, other than just the Lord gave them victory.
Yep, some trust in chariots, some trust in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God to give victory even when vastly outnumbered. So that's the resolve of chapter 14. Okay, chapter 15.
All right. The Spirit of God came upon Azariah, the son of Oded, and he went out to meet Asa, and said to him, "Hear me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. The Lord is with you while you are with him. If you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you." I think that's a very important passage right there.
Yeah.
The end of verse 2. If you seek him, he will be found by you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. Again, that's the message that this book is trying to convey.
For sure. And a message to us as well.
For us, yes. Verse 3. For a long time, Israel was without the true God, and without a teaching priest, and without law. But when, in their distress, they turned to the Lord, the God of Israel, and sought him, he was found by them. In those times there was no peace, to him who went out, or to him who came in. For great disturbances afflicted all the inhabitants of the lands. They were broken in pieces. Nation was crushed by nation, and city by city. For God troubled them with every sort of distress. Is that talking about the time of the judges, maybe? What it sounds like.
I don't know.
Verse 7, but you, take courage. Do not let your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded.
As soon as Asa heard these words, the prophecy of Ahaziah, the son of Obed, he took courage and put away the detestable idols from all the land of Judah and Benjamin, and from the cities that he had taken in the hill country of Ephraim, and he prepared an altar of the Lord that was in front of the vestibule in the house of the Lord. So I think he took courage. He was told to take courage in verse 7, because this would have been a courageous thing to kind of turn away from idolatry and to turn the nation to the Lord again. And he gathered all Judah and Benjamin and those from Ephraim, Manasseh, and Simeon who were residing with them, for great numbers had deserted to him from Israel when they saw the Lord his God was with him. They were gathered.
Good idea.
Yep, they were gathered at Jerusalem in the 3rd month, the 15th year of the reign of Asa, and they sacrificed to the Lord that day from the spoil that they had brought 700 oxen and 7,000 sheep, and they entered into a covenant to seek the Lord, the God of their fathers, with all their heart and with all their soul. And the promise was, back
verse
in
2.
verse 2, that if you seek him, he'll be found by you. And so they entered this covenant to seek the Lord with all their heart and with all their soul, but that whoever would not seek the Lord, the God of Israel, should be put to death, whether young or old or man or woman. And they swore an oath to the Lord with a loud voice, and with shouting, with trumpets, with an oath, and with horns. And all Judah rejoiced over the oath, for they had sworn with all their heart, and had sought him with their whole desire. And he was found by them, and the Lord gave them rest all around. Here's just the good of the good. That's what we're really talking about. Yeah.
Verse 16.
Seek the Lord. The Lord will give rest.
Yes, and seek with all your heart
Yes.
and your whole desire.
Yep.
Verse 16, even Maacah, his mother, King Asa removed from being queen mother because she had made a detestable image for Asherah. He's just taking a stand against idolatry here. Asa cut down her image, crushed it, and burned it at the brook Kidron. But the high places were not taken out of Israel. Nevertheless, the heart of Asa was wholly true all his days. And he brought into the house of God the sacred gifts of his father and his own sacred gifts, silver and gold and vessels. And there was no more war until the 35th year of the reign of Asa.
Yep. So here's basically, the ESV heading says Asa's religious reforms. Yep, very much so. But it's this covenant that they entered into. I mean, the reform more particularly is this covenant. First of all, Asa listening to counsel and leading Judah into this covenant to seek the Lord with all their heart. And they did, and they had rest all around. So I think the covenant and rest would be a good kind of summary here for 2 Chronicles 15.
And purging idolatry and seeking the Lord with all your heart and all your desire.
Yep, all those things are in it for sure. Okay, so now we come to chapter 16, and we're going to see as Asa's last years, the ESV heading says, and he stumbles here a bit. In the 36th year of the reign of Asa, Baasha, king of Israel, went up against Judah and built Ramah. So again, Baasha is Israel, that's in the north, and Asa is Judah in the south. And so the north, it's a threat from the north, that he might permit no one to go out or come in to Asa, king of Judah. In other words, close the border. And then Asa took silver and gold from the treasures of the house of the Lord and the king's house, and sent them to Ben-Hadad, king of Syria, who lived in Damascus, saying, so this is like way north, up there to Ben-Hadad, there's a covenant between me and you, as there was between my father and your father. Behold, I am sending to you silver and gold. Go, break your covenant with Baasha, king of Israel, and that he may withdraw from me. In other words, let's fight in the north with him, so that the fighting here in the south at our border is lightened up. And Ben-Hadad listened to King Asa and sent the commanders of his armies against the city of Israel, and they conquered Ijon, Dan, and these are all cities in the north, if you know your map very well. Ijon, Dan, Abel-Maim, and all the store cities of Naphtali. And when Baasha heard of it, he stopped building Ramah and let the work cease, so he didn't quite close the border, because he was distracted and went to the north. Then King Asa took all Judah, and they carried away the stones of Ramah and its timber with which Baasha had been building, and with them he built Geba and Mizpah.
Whoa.
So very strategic. I mean, it seems very smart, but it's not really relying upon the Lord, which is the whole theme of 2 Chronicles.
Yes, and he's strategizing, and basically this is against Israel, and protection against Israel, and strategizing, but yes, not relying on the Lord. Verse 7, at that time...
Now comes the rebuke.
At that time, Hanani the seer came to Asa, king of Judah, and said to him, because you relied on the king of Syria and did not rely on the Lord your God, the army of the king of Syria has escaped you. Were not the Ethiopians and the Libyans a huge army with very much chariots and horsemen? Yet because you relied on the Lord, he gave them into your hand. And that's over in chapter 14.
Mm-hmm. I got a little note. Next verse 8 says chapter 14.
Yeah, and that's where they were outnumbered 2-1. And like 14 verse 12, the Lord just defeated the Ethiopians.
It was really good that he relied upon the Lord, but he didn't here.
So here, he did not. So verse 9, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth to give strong support to those whose heart is blameless toward him. You have done foolishly in this, for from now on you will have wars. Then Asa was angry with the seer. Ooh, so that's not a good response there. He should respond and humble himself and respond with repentance and brokenness. But verse 10 says, then Asa was angry with the seer and put him in the stocks in prison, for he was in a rage with him because of this. And Asa inflicted cruelties upon some of the people at the same time.
Yeah, so he didn't repent in terms
he lashed out with anger
against
at the
Hanani.
messenger.
Yep.
Because he didn't like it.
Okay, Asa didn't finish well. The acts of Asa from first to last are written in the books of the kings of Judah and Israel. In the 39th year of his reign, Asa was diseased in his feet. So here, it was the 36th year. So for 36 years he went well. And then in this 36th year, he was trusting in man and not trusting the Lord. And when the bad comes, what really happens is then he dies quickly. He had disease in his feet. And his disease became severe. Yet even in his disease, he did not seek the Lord, but sought help from physicians. And Asa slept with his fathers, dying in the 41st year of his reign. And they buried him in the tomb that he had cut for himself in the city of David. They laid him on a bier that had been filled with various kinds of spices prepared for the perfumer's art, and they made a very great fire in his honor.
I just think about why. After 35 years of seeing the faithfulness of God and seeking the Lord and knowing the blessings of that, why did he turn? What reason did he have to not trust the Lord, in war and in sickness?
All we need to do is look to our own hearts and how easy is it to forget,
Right.
So may we learn from Asa and be faithful all our days, be faithful until the end, remembering all the past victories, because that's what Hanani says. Look at your past victories.
Right.
You didn't rely upon the Lord, and you beat the king of the Ethiopians and the Libyans down south, outnumbered 2-1. Just trust the Lord for the kings of the north too.
Well, and these stories are here intentionally as object lessons to teach the people returning from exile, but they're also as object lessons for us to learn from.
For sure. Okay, we will see you tomorrow in the Psalms. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.